Hello everyone, this is just a short video with the latest update on the landlord right to rent rules. The government made a press release earlier this week on the 20th of April with regards to what these checks will look like going forwards. If you may remember, back in March 2020, the government made an announcement that you could do right to rent checks virtually. This is, you could check somebody's ID, for example, over FaceTime or Skype, or a scanned document, for example, sent to you. At the time, they said that these regulations would only be in place for 3 months, and once the regulations come to an end, you would then have to go back to that tenant and look at their ID in person and inspect that ID properly, as you would have done before the coronavirus changes came along. Now, as we've gone through the pandemic, these regulations have been extended and extended and extended, and as of now, they're actually still in place. So these rules have been around for over a year now. Now, given the easing of restrictions, with the next big deadline being the 17th of May, around the same time, the 17th of May, then the ability to do right to rent checks virtually will disappear. They'll go away. So those exemptions to save you doing face-to-face checks will stop in the middle of May. Now, what the government has recognised is that because this has now been going on for so long, there's well over a year's worth of right to rent checks outstanding. What they have done is they have agreed that you don't have to go back and redo those virtual checks again. So there is now no longer a requirement to go back to any new tenancies that you've created during lockdown and do those face-to-face right to rent checks. From the 17th of May onwards, the original rules come back into force, so you have to look at the right to rent documents in person with any prospective tenant to check that they have a right to rent. Now, there is also an online service which you can use. I don't know about you, but we're seeing more and more people from overseas, Commonwealth countries, India, Ghana, coming to the UK to work, particularly in the NHS. And there is a landlord checking service which you can use to check that these people have a right to rent. So you just simply go to the government website and follow the instructions there. I've done a separate video on this functionality, so it might be worth checking out one of our earlier versions of PMP TV on right to rent checks.